Here's a couple of words in the book of Micah, chapter 6, verse 8. Now, after reading a bunch of stuff, Micah's he's telling all the people about what they are doing and what they should do. This particular verse here says, "This is the whole duty of you, man. He hath showed thee, O man," we're talking about God, showing you and me. "He hath showed thee, O man, what is good, and what doth the Lord require of thee, but to do justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy God." Mike is trying to teach these people in the city here, bad things are coming your way because you're not doing the right stuff. This verse has been quoted by many pastors throughout the years. And they talk to congregations that go over there on Sunday, which is not the Lord's Day. Sunday is the worship of the sun, Ashtaroth, all the other pagan gods. That's what happens on Sunday. Sunday is not the Lord's Day. Saturday is. The seventh day God set aside, and he blessed it. That's the day he rested. And he said, you should rest on the seventh day. 6 days you shall do your work and all that stuff. And on the seventh day, rest. Now, in this day and age, lots of people got to work on Saturday. God knows that. And he had spots in here where he talks about that too. Like the farmer has to feed his chickens. He's got to milk his cows. That happens every day, He's not saying you can't do stuff like that. Now, today we got firemen that put out fires. We got all kinds of stuff that happens on Saturday. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you actually calling it the Lord's Day. Sunday is not the Lord's Day. That's a misnomer, if that's the correct word. The Catholic Church put that out. They changed it way back when. And there's a verse in Scripture that talks about that, seeking to change times and laws. And they changed all that stuff. They removed the Sabbath from the Ten Commandments, all that kind of jazz. Anyway, but you don't have to worry about that. He's talking about teaching your children every day, all day long. And everything you do, he wants you to be talking about him. In other words, not every word out of your mouth, but you need to explain to your kids about God and what's good. You know what the Muslims do? They're raising up kids to kill. They're teaching their kids, and they're diligent at it. And if any of them don't do it, they get killed. They teach them that they have to kill the infidel. The infidel is me and everybody like me who does not bow the knee to Baal or Allah. That's the devil. You understand? I think it was 1973 when that Roe versus Wade went into effect, when America says, yeah, it's legal for us to kill our children in the womb. They started aborting children by the thousands. How many kids were killed? How many babies were killed from 1973 to 2017? A whole bunch. But the population of America increased that whole time. Where'd they get them people? Some of them were born here. A lot of people didn't want to kill their kids, and they raised some good kids. But they brought in the babies and everybody from other countries. And those countries sent in their worship stuff. They worship Baal. They worship the devil. They don't worship the living God, Jesus Christ, my Lord and my God. That's not what happens. Wow. That almost brings a tear to the eye. We got 320 million people in this country, and it was probably around, I don't know, 200 million or even less back in the early 70s. We got 100 million more people in this country, and most of them do not follow God. They don't do it. It's just not there. If you get the communists and the Muslims together, which they are, I mean, we had a president here that sent millions of dollars over to Iran. He paid them people to continue to terrorize the world. It was paid for by American dollars during this particular time. Right in front of your face he did it. A whole boatload, and he shipped it over by plane of dollars, American dollars. Almost destroyed our country. And what was supposed to happen last year was Hillary Clinton was supposed to be ushered into the White House to continue this destruction of America. The Democrats. It didn't happen. You want to know why? Because some of us have hedges around us. And God won't let it happen to us. Not here in this country. Donald Trump is up against some fierce adversaries. But you know what? He will succeed. As long as he does God's bidding, he will succeed. And it's up to us to vote into office the proper people that will keep our Constitution and obey the laws and enforce the laws. And vote out all of those Democrats. And I'm including in there a lot of Republicans who are absolutely useless to America, especially people led by, what's that guy's name out there in Arizona? McCain, I think. I think he's a senator in Arizona. That guy's been in public office for maybe 40 years, give or take some. 40 years. Yeah, he did some stuff over there in Vietnam, and he went to prison, and he did all, some bad stuff happened to that guy. But he's run out of ammunition. He's useless to America today. He does not do what is right. He's voting on the side of whatever force is controlling him, and I don't believe it's God. Now, that's my opinion. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. That's my opinion. And there's a few others that, you really can talk about that are Republicans that are not doing the right thing. They're holding stuff up. Can you imagine if you reduce taxes, the stuff that we sent in? Now, that's not even right, okay? These people in Congress, they pass a law saying you have to pay this and this. How about them screwballs up in New York or wherever the heck this is? For every ounce of soda that you buy in a bottle, you got to give them a penny. You imagine that? Who the hell voted for that? I don't know. The Democrats. The devil. Those are the people that bow the knee to Baal. Now, I can go, I'm just rambling on here, but it's all true, and I got a lot to say. Let me read this again. He hath showed thee, O man, what is good. God has showed you. If you didn't open your eyes to see it, that's your fault. And what doth the Lord require of thee? But to do justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy God. You know, there's a question mark after that. That's Micah. And he's talking to some people that are not doing the right stuff. And he puts it right down there in one sentence. This is all it is right here. If you do this stuff, you can't do no wrong, man. Now, I'm not a saint. I got mud all over me. But I've been forgiven for that stuff. And I don't walk in that mud anymore. It makes me pretty happy. I know I'm going to die one day. When you die, the man is dead. The body turns to dust and it, returns to the earth. The part that returns to God is the life. It says it in here. The spirit returns unto God who gave it. Now that spirit that's talked about in that particular sentence is your life. When you use the word spirit, life, and breath, it's all talking about the same stuff in different categories. The spirit returns to God. Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Everything exists through him. When it dies, that life can't die because that's God. That ain't going to die. That goes back to him. But it's not you. The word says your remembrance, your memory, your love, your passion, your hate, all your pain, all of that stuff perishes when you die. The life, or the part that goes back to God, is the spirit, and that's the life. Pastors today and other people say, when you die, your body dies, but your soul goes up to be with God. And then you're up there with God, and you're looking down, and you're looking at your kids and doing all this stuff. There ain't nobody looking down. That's a lie. That's a lie from the devil. Bowing the knee to Baal. Talked about that earlier. That's untrue. When you die, you're done. Now, there's a resurrection, right? When Resurrection Day comes around, and you're up in heaven, what's he going to resurrect if you're up there being alive? No, you're dead. The righteous are resurrected to everlasting life. The ungodly are resurrected to the final death. That's the final fire that burns up everything once for good. It doesn't burn forever. It burns once for good. And it's finished. And it's done. Well, I got to knock this off right now, but I'll be back.